Greetings everyone, Claude is here. This time I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead of reviewing a movie or an entire animated series, I'm going to review one specific episode I liked from a cartoon. Crazy, I know. The cartoon I'm going to review an episode from is one that is, in my opinion, quite underrated and not talked about enough on the internet. We Bare Bears. I like We Bare Bears. There's something about its tone and nice atmosphere that attracts me to it. It's relatively normal and down to earth compared to most cartoons I watch that are either highly energetic comedies or very plot heavy, character developing and full of feels stories. We Bare Bears is just about three bears trying to fit in modern society. It's this kind of relaxing and feel good cartoon you can watch with your family and pals, and that's what is so charming about it. If you are ever having a bad day, just watch one or two episodes of this show. I can't guarantee it will make everything better, but it will probably make you feel at least a little bit happier. Some people are turned off by this show because of its constant use of modern technology and social media, but I think it does that much better than some other shows. Ahem, ahem. It doesn't rely on memes and modern trends for humor, and doesn't try to pander to the younger generation. Its world is set in modern society, which is why things such as smartphones and social medias don't seem out of place here and fit the theme. But I rambled on long enough. What about the episode? Well, to show how good this series can be, I decided to review the most emotional and tear-jerking episode in my opinion, Captain Craboo. The plot. This episode is a callback to the episode Emergency for featuring Captain Craboo once again, which further establishes the fact that We Bare Bears has continuity in addition to reoccurring characters such as Chloe and Charlie. The 20-minute format worked here well and helped to expand on Craboo's relationship with Ice Bear and gave me time to get attached to his character and as a result making the scene at the beach have much more impact. This episode had a more serious and dramatic tone, which was reflected really well in scenes like when Craboo pinched Nom Nom's ear and got taken away, and a chase scene of the bears running away from the cops and jumping on cars, which felt intense and had high stakes. There were also sad and tear-jerking moments, such as Panda's song and the scene at the beach, which made me cry like a baby on the first time I watched it, and on the second time I watched it for this review. Despite the overall tone being serious, there were some little funny moments sprinkled throughout, like Grizz acting as a lawyer in the courtroom, and Panda using an app on his phone to play guitar in order to keep the original spirit of the show and not make it seem overly dramatic. It manages to display all of the show's strengths in one episode. Nice and heartwarming, comedic and cheerful, sad and emotional, and adding a kinda cliche but good moral of if you love something, let it go. This is a perfect representation of what this cartoon is and what it stands for. If you asked me what would be a good episode as an introduction to the series, this would be one of the options. I truly thought at first that this was supposed to be a season finale because of it feeling so grand and special, unlike any other regular episode, and I would have preferred it to end the season. I also appreciated the cameos of Chloe and Charlie. The ending felt satisfying, with Nom Nom getting arrested and the audience getting a last glance at the magnificent Craboo on the island. The characters. The scenes of the bears hanging out with Craboo showed a difference in attitude towards him. Grizz and Panda treated him like a friend, while Ice Bear was understandably hostile towards him. Later in the episode, the relationship between Ice Bear and Craboo starts to change once Craboo stands up for Ice Bear who got shot by Num Num. This change was hinted at earlier in the scene where Craboo mimicked Ice Bear's movements and seemed to get along with him for once. The newly found friendship between Ice Bear and Craboo is the highlight of the episode for me, and seems to be the major focus. The change in Ice Bear's treatment of Craboo didn't feel abrupt or out of nowhere because he had a good reason. If someone standing up for you to someone who pushed you, then obviously you would feel grateful and even like that person better, which makes Ice Bear's new liking of Craboo understandable. Grizz and Panda were pretty great too. They acted like really good friends, trying their best to get Craboo out of prison and even releasing him to the wild for his own good. But one thing that had me confused was Panda posting a picture of Craboo on social media while they were hiding from the police. You could say that it's in character for Panda to do so, but I still find it stupid and a bit of a cheap way to move the plot forward. Craboo himself isn't much of a character, but his relationship with the bears is what makes him likable, and it's what this episode is based around, therefore making him a very important aspect of it. Nom Nom acted as a main antagonist, and he portrayed that role well. His faking in the trial reminded me of Plankton from Krabs vs. Plankton, which is always a good thing. He acted like a huge jerk, or dingle, whatever you prefer, and got his comeuppance. And the Bears won. Well, sort of. The animation. This episode for the most part has the usual We Bare Bear style animation. Thin lines, relaxing colors, and nothing too flashy or jumpy. I appreciate its simplicity and calm style. With so many shows nowadays being very hyperactive and excessively colorful, which is not inherently bad, mind you, it's nice to have something more mundane and peaceful. But this also makes the show not stand out much, and as a result, it doesn't get noticed a lot, which is a shame. The animation, particularly in this episode, has some highlights, such as during the chase scene and at the beach with the lighting fitting the mood of the scene. In conclusion, this episode is one of the best. It shows exactly how good of a show We Bare Bears can be and presents all of its positive qualities. It's heartwarming, emotional, dramatic, and charming. What else can you ask for? That's it for the review. I hope you liked it, and if not, tell me where I can improve. Bye bye.